Time now to hear from the Republican side of the aisle. Joining us in the studio, House Majority Leader Eric Cantor. Sir, nice to have you with us in person this morning.
Good morning, Erica.
We talked a little bit about your tweets in that last interview. In many ways, pardon me, seemed like you too were challenging your party to come and to work together. What are you hearing from Republicans specifically, though, about what in this plan they can get behind?
Well, Erica, what I know about my Republican colleagues is they, as the Speaker are very focused on making sure that we can do something to provide incentives for small business people to get back in the game of job creation. I mean, that's what last night's speech was about, and frankly, we have a plan out there to do that as well. I was glad to hear the Vice President say that they are willing to compromise, because last night the President said, you know, it is an all-or-nothing proposal here that pick up and pass my bill. What I can say is there's a lot of things in the bill, whether it's a trade agreements, whether it's a tax relief for small business people, whether it's a reform of unemployment compensation. These are the things that are in our plan as well. We could very easily take these items, put them across the floor, and I believe pass them. So hopefully we can work together and create an environment for jobs.
So you're talking essentially about peeling off some of these items. So if you can, let's pick the top three. How quickly do you think you could get those passed?
Well, I mean, take the trade bills, for instance. I mean, Speaker Boehner and I had been at the White House almost 2 years ago, prior to our assuming majority, asking the President to please send up the trade bills. We know that outside sources have confirmed that we could create hundreds of thousands of jobs if the trade bills were passed. That's something that we could do right away. We have in our Job Creators Plan a series of regulations that we're going to bring up to the floor, proposed regulations that need to be stopped. The President talked about streamlining bureaucracy and getting rid of the red tape. We are all for doing that. We're going to do something next week that will begin to provide some relief for manufacturers, for small business people, to send the signal that America is open for business and Washington is going to get out of the way.
I know you've also said that these the employers' payroll tax contributions, the cuts there could actually, in your words, provide much more of an incentive for employers to begin to weigh the risk of hiring, which is an interesting way to phrase it. You're going to Richmond, Virginia, to your home state today. The President is also going to be in Richmond. How much of what you will both say do you think will be similar based on what we heard last night, what you and I talked about this morning?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of rancor and difference in Washington, and I think now the country is really ready for us to set aside those differences and try and build consensus, reach commonality, and see if we can produce a bill that does help job creation. And the things that we can agree on here are the things that focus on small business people so that we can get the middle class back to work. So I think that we can act relatively quickly. I do and am going to listen to the President today when he's in Richmond, in my hometown, to say that he will work with us. It's not an all-or-nothing approach. We're trying to build consensus here.
Nice to have you here. Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you, Erica.